Hemas makes huge calls every day that touch millions of Sri Lankan families. But the real question is, how do you actually know if you are nailing it? How do you know how people really react when they are at the shelf? Today, we are showing you how to stop guessing and start simulating. When a new product is ready, you have got 3 choices. You run a focus group which takes forever and costs a ton. You take a wild guess and hope it doesn't flop, or you get stuck in analysis paralysis and lose out to the competition. Even when you pay up, all school research usually misses the mark. A small group of women in Colombo doesn't really tell you what's happening in rural Sri Lanka. It misses the stuff that actually drives the decisions. At first, everyone just tried using ChatGPT, but the basic AI models are yes men. If you ask an AI version of Fatima if she likes a new baby wash, she will definitely say yes. Because generic AI doesn't feel the stress of a tight budget or cultural rules. And the best part is that you can scale this as much as you want. Traditional research takes months and costs a fortune. DeepPersona is about 80 times cheaper. We can run simulation with 500 personas in minutes for roughly 6,000 rupees. It turns market research into something you can do every single day. And right now, our engine is grounded in real public data. We use official central bank statistics and publicly available data on the internet. But the true power of DeepPersona unlocks when our engine is ingested with reports like Kantar, Nielsen IQ and Hemas internal sales metrics. And once the data is in, we bring the persona to life using scope framework. These aren't just robot answering yes or no, and they are programmed to push back and be proactive of their money, just like real shopper would be. To run this simulation, we use Microsoft TinyTroupe framework. This is a big deal because it gets rid of all the black box mystery. You don't see what they thought. You can follow their logic step by step from their first thought to the final purchase. Our logs capture natural conversation reflecting real behavior. Reviewing these transcripts helps teams pinpoint the emotional and cultural triggers driving their customers' decisions. DeepPersona psychological mapping extends beyond pricing. You can instantly test consumer reactions across all answer matrix quadrants, whether for market penetration, new product development, or total diversification. We stress-test Baby Cheramy gentle foam washing using public data by simulating a 15% price hikes to 750 rupees with natural aloe vera branding. We measured consumer defection rates against pears and keels. Only one of them, Dilini, our high-income professional, accepted the 750 price tag. Fatima wanted it, but the engine flagged severe friction. And the remaining 3, Chaturika, Priya and Somavati, they flat out rejected the premium. Let's look at DeepPersona in action.
This is the overview of our full application. The system begins with persona generation. Each persona is not just a profile, but a behavior-driven identity built to reflect real-world thinking patterns, preferences, and decision logic. This allows organizations to move beyond generic segmentation into realistic, human-like representation of their customers. So, next. Instead of relying on assumption, business can now simulate how a specific type of customers actually think before launching a product or campaign. Now we are at the core of our persona application. It is the persona simulation engine. Here, dynamic scenarios are executed where personas interact with business decisions such as product changes, pricing strategies, or messaging variations. The engine evaluates responses in real time, predicting how each persona reacts under different conditions. This transforms decision making from static analysis into interactive, scenario-based intelligence. Now we are in the section of log files. We can watch whole simulation logs in this section It is very useful when we want to see what is actually happening behind the simulation and the later debugging purposes. Now, after that, we move on to conversation transcripts. What sets Persona apart is its ability to capture reasoning through conversation transcript. Every decision made by a persona is explained, revealing motivation, concerns, and thought process behind each action. Why it matters? This gives business something traditional analytics cannot: the why behind customer behavior. Now we move on to the most important part of our application, the results and analytics section. All simulation outputs are consolidated into the results and analytics dashboard. Here, the system presents a clear visual breakdown of how different personas respond across scenarios. On the screen, we can see comparative graphs that highlight variation in persona decisions, such as acceptance levels, preferences shifts, and response trend under different conditions. Each data point represents a simulated decision outcome, allowing teams to quickly identify which strategy performs better across different customer segments. For example, the graphs show how one group persona reacts more positively to a specific change, while another segment demonstrates resistance, giving immediate insight into the potential market behavior. This enables decision makers to move beyond raw data and directly interpret patterns, identify risks, opportunities, and optimal strategies with clarity.